Hi, I am back from lunch, so I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I've got a few ideas. What I want to try, I want to try a few things with this area before we finish it up. Well, we got a long way before we can finish it up, but before we can continue to work on it. I know I imported. Let me find where we're working at. Global company. We are Railroad Silo '03, still working in the visibility node. So I'm going to go File, Import. I brought in a playground pack. Games, Ritchie Valley, new buildings. I'm going to put in 1018, good afternoon. I'm going to bring in this playground. And whoever lives in this house has a ton of kids, so if you set up your sleep sugar here and you want to start with this piece of property, um, you're going to have a bunch of kids. Unless they're all grown into adults and the playground equipment is still sitting in the backyard. One of the two. Alright, are you sitting on the ground? You are sitting on the ground. Alright, so let's get a little bit of sand. For them to play on. And then we'll do I don't know, something like that. Tie that into the little lookout thing. Nikki Fizz, hello. Thank you for stopping in. Much appreciated. Alright, now we have our fence, or our hedge along the water. Our backyard is pretty much defined. There's a couple things I want to do with the little barn and little water wheel. I want to try something. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I want to try something. But I want to grab, where do I want to go? Let me go over here. Let me go up on my speed a little bit. Since we got a bunch of kids living in that house, I want to put some couple clothesline poles in. So let's grab from over here a clothesline. And we'll fly back over there. I think I have one here. If not, I've got one down further. Yeah, I've got one here. So I'm going to grab one of these. And I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to throw it in. I didn't want to do that. Oh, it's there. Okay. And then, now, did I accidentally make a second one? Is there one here or are there two? There's only one there. Perfect. Now I'm going to grab one of the canopies. So duplicate that. And we're going to go edit, cut, and paste. And we're going to grab a patio set. Nope, down, not up. You go edit, cut, and paste. Now while I'm over here, before we go back, now let's get those in place, and then I want to grab something else. There's a couple things I want to try. So we'll be flying around the map grabbing bits and pieces for a couple minutes before we finish this area up. Alright, so backyard, sort of, or side yard. Let's go. Let's get a couple of these in. let's build, yeah. So let's grab concrete and let's build a little patio. You know what, I'm gonna go all the way over and we'll make a little sidewalk coming back. Yeah, something like that. And we'll grab our canopy. We'll put that about here. And we'll grab a picnic set. And since we have a bunch of kids living in this house, we're going to go. You're going to need a couple tables. All right. So that is everything. I didn't miss anything, right? All right, so that's everything we brought in so far. Now I want to try a little water feature in the front yard with this windmill water pump, whatever they're calling it, this guy. So I'm going to grab, we're not that far from the mines. I want to grab, oh, I'm not wrong, I don't need the mines, I need the crusher. So we do have to fly for a little bit. Farm Chick 63, welcome back. Thank you for stopping back in. We're going to fly over here because I want to try a little water feature with that windmill, water wheel, whatever they're calling it. I want to grab this concrete pit. So I'm going to duplicate that. And I close farm 2. Let's go edit, cut, and paste. And I want to grab this little pump house. Duplicate that. And go edit, cut, and paste. Now if I can grab it, I want to grab this water plane. And I'm going to duplicate that. Alright, and then I want to grab, where did I put it? Where did I put the nearest swimming pool? Guess we'll fly over to Center Mountain and grab one. Come over here, I want to grab this water plane. Yeah, the more and more I get in the map, the more finished the map is getting, the slower and slower I'm actually moving around in the editor. But that always happens on a 16x map build. I changed up these apartments a little bit. I don't know if y'all probably haven't seen them. So we have a couple one-story apartments, we have a couple of two-story apartments, and now we have a three-story apartment. So I changed those up a little bit. I want to grab this water plane. I'm going to duplicate that, and we're going to go edit, cut, and paste. Alright, now let's see if we can build a little water feature up here. Yesterday I was struggling with where to put it, that water wheel, but I want to try something. So over here in the front yard, we're going to grab this guy. I'm just going to stage a couple of these things for now. We're going to grab, and we'll put you there for now. Grab this guy, put you there for now, and put you there for now. Alright, so I want to grab, somewhere in the front yard I want to do a little water feature. So I'm going to pull this over here. And I'm going to pull it. I don't want it real deep, but I don't. Let me pull it down. I can dig the ground down a little bit. Now I'm going to have to pull it up, which is fine. Let's grab this guy. I'm going to bring him over here a minute. Now we're going to have to sink this down. It may take me, actually I can make it smaller. That's what I want to do. I'll stop. Let's make you shallow. And there you go. You're going to work out much better on what I want to do. Now I want to bring this water mill back, or whatever it is, that I was having a problem figuring out what to do with it. I want to bring you over here. Go down on my speed a little bit. There we go. I can move around a little bit slower and get it in position. So let's come over here. And I want to get you in something like that, I think. And we're going to play around with the ground height a little. I'm probably going to end up dropping all of this down a little bit. Let me grab... Actually, we're going to drop this down a little bit. Let me come back on here. We're going to take the ground down a little bit. So let me drop you down. We're going to go to replace, but I don't want to go real deep, so we're going to go 205.5. I want to take it down just a little bit. Oh, and a little bit of a water feature. And let's go down a little bit further. Nope, let's go down to 205. Yeah, I just want to get the dirt, or the grass, or the ground out of there. Perfect. So let's take you down a little bit. And we'll smooth out the edges. And we'll take our water plane, and we're going to have to make it a little bit bigger. And now we'll get it where we want it. And then I want to take, I want to take this guy, close the apartments, Railroad Silo 3. Now we take our fountain jet, this guy, and we're going to have to play around with him a little bit and get him in position. And we're going to have to resize him a little bit. So let's go a little bit taller. No, we're going to have to go way up, maybe like 6. Oh, we're going to have to go way up. Let's go like 10. Yeah, now let's go like 5 and 5. There we go. We're getting closer. Maybe not that big, but we're getting closer. to what I want this to do. Now, are you touching, or is there a little gap there? I think you're probably close. So that's going to give us a little bit of a water feature for this yard. So now we can just come back over here and I can just smooth this out a little bit. And that makes more sense with this. I'm a dingbat. Hey, old man. Good to see you again. Thank you for stopping back in. So yeah, I think we're going to call this good. Why did my splines get all weird? Because I probably clicked on it. Yep, I probably clicked on my splines. Okay, so I think we're good. So let's get a little bit of rough dirt along here. No, let's change it over to mud. So we got a little bit of mud there. And that gives us a little bit of a water feature in the front yard. And then I think we're going to call this good on the house. We still have all of our grass and everything to put in, but I think we're going to call it. So we have our house, we have our, our hedge, we have our barn, we have our outhouse, we have our storage, we have a vehicle shop. Now we're going to have to put a trigger in for the vehicle shop. And we still need to get the triggers in for. So we had the trigger to put in for the vehicle shop. We have the triggers to put in for the silo to get the silo working. Now we do need. We need an apartment for the monorail. Now I didn't think ahead, and there's not a lot of room between the road and the monorail tracks. I'm hoping an apartment's going to fit in here. If not, we're going to be moving this road. So let me go to, let's grab, I need my visibility open. Let's grab our apartment that we're using for our worker storage. And I'm going to duplicate that. And we're going to go edit, cut, and paste. And we're going to throw it here. Now you're the bus stop on that side. Now how much room, if I pull you over, it's going to put, the bus stop, I may end up moving this road. So we're going to have to spin you this way. And we're going to have to pull you in. I'm going to have to pull you in as far as I can so you don't mess with the AI traffic. So I may end up changing the bus stops on top of this one a little bit. So I want to pull it over as close as I can get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this fence. I'm going to remove this fence. We're going to slide this one back. I'm going to slide this one back. Yeah, and we're going to take this one, we're going to shorten him up a little bit. Now we're going to take the whole apartment complex. And we're going to slide it as far back from the road as I can get it. Yeah, and we'll have to, but you'll have to drop, we'll have to use the inside as the bus stop instead of the outside as the bus stop. That's fine. So that's going to get us away from the road far enough. We'll still have, we're going to have to adjust the triggers, but we'll still have our monorail triggers up here. Now, where do I want to put it? Yeah, we're going to have to, let me slide it up. So we want room to come down the ramp and turn. So we'll put it about here. Yeah, we'll put it about here. Because we're going to have another road now. So let's go to back to concrete, and let's get our concrete. You need room to drive the bus in here to catch the triggers. And actually, we can just bring this over like this way. That works. Take you right up. Alright, so that will give us room to drive our bus over. And we're going to need to drive our bus through here and then back out. So something like that. Probably a little bit wider than what I want, but that's all right. Alright, so now, do we want to do, yeah, we'll do a parking lot on this side. So we'll need a little bit of a sidewalk coming over. Not going to be much grass here, but let's do a side parking lot here. Actually, we'll just take it, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll just take it all the way over. We'll do a side parking lot here. When we come in from that direction, we'll get some parked cars there. And then on this side, how do we look on this side? We're going to have to put some parked cars. No, let me put them on this side. So let's just square this up. And actually, if we can probably go back a little bit further, closer to the tracks. Yeah, I think something like that. So we'll have our monorail stop where we can drop off our passengers by monorail or bus. Now I'm going to need a parking lot. So let me go to Railroad Silo 02. And let's grab side parking. We'll duplicate that one. And we'll go on this side first. So I want to spin you this way. And then we'll get you slid over. Pull you away from the tracks a little bit. So I'll put you about there. And then we'll get some parking on this side. And same thing, I'll just center it up over here. And then let's get our parked cars in. Because I always forget the parked cars. So we'll go splines. Let's grab a parked car. Farm chick, if there is kids in the complex, what about a playground? Let me show you what I had done in the backyard. Let me get that first car in place. I put in a playground over here. I was figuring this, whoever buys this farmhouse and puts their sleep trigger down over here, there's a bunch of kids over in this house because they got a ton of playground equipment over here, but I can definitely put a playground over here by this apartment complex too. That would be pretty cool. So we'll duplicate that, we'll bring it over. Good thinking. So let's pull you in a little bit. Let's get a couple parked cars in here. I'll bring you over, but I want to flip you this way. So we'll flip you this way, and I'll come over here. Bring you over this. Oh, come on. Find my last parked car. Slide you over this way. And again, there's going to be more cars towards the door than there is towards the back. So we'll get... Then we'll pull this one back. And there's always that one guy that has to take up 2 parking spots. And then over here, where do we want it? Yeah, let's come over here. Let's grab our... So let me close the splines. We'll come down to where we're working. Oh, okay, I just thought I would look cool because most of them have a playground unless it's for 50 and older group. No, that is awesome idea. Let's grab... Where is it? Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Railroad Silo 2 I can close. Railroad Silo 3 is the one we're working in. I want to grab... Let's grab this guy. I want to rename this so I know what it is. And I want to duplicate it. And let's go edit interactive placement. Bam, we'll bring another one over here. Now the problem is, no matter where I put it, it's going to be near a train track. So I'll just keep it over here. Hopefully the kids won't get run over by the train. We could bring some of the fences. Yeah, I could bring a hedge over. We'll tie the hedges in. So let's get a little bit of a playground here. So let's grab some sand for this one. And I don't want to do, I guess we could do a little skinny piece of grass around. Now let's take the sand over this way. And we'll fill in the front part with sand. And we'll grass in the rest. Now we can bring over one of the hedges. And we can separate them from the track a little bit. Stretch this out a little bit longer. There we go. And we'll pull it this way. And we can separate the playground a little bit from the railroad track. Wrong one. Let me come over here a little bit. I don't need to hedge the whole thing in. We just need to separate it from the railroad track a little bit. Yeah, something like that. And then I'm going to actually just take the sand, and we're going to just take the sand all the way over to the hedges. I don't have to mess with a little bit of grass in there. And that's just enough to separate it from the tracks. And I guess we could let's grab one of the umbrellas from the top. And we'll throw few of these in here. There we go. That looks good. Nice idea. Now, other than grass and trees, I think we're going to call this area. Now I want to figure out where we're going to paint our farmland in and separate this piece of property here in a minute, but I want to get all the triggers in and working first. And the first one we're going to start with is the railroad, the monorail one. Alright, so for now, I'm going to close Gold Global Company. Let's go File, Import, Maps, Placeables, Railroad Silos. We're going to bring in Pass 03. I'm going to go File, Export. We're going to export it right back out, but we're going to export it out as Pass 04. And we're going to delete Passenger 03 without making any changes to it. So now we're going to go File, Import, Passenger 04. And we're going to bring Passenger 04 over here. And now we got to figure out where we're going to get our trigger set up. So first of all, you get spun this way to 0. And we bring our bus triggers down first. So we'll be able to bring our passengers in, or our workers in. So those will be our input and our output triggers to store our workers. Now I'm going to have to move Why do you still not look right? Because you're still a little too high. Let me adjust the height on the top, and then the height on the bottom will fall into place. So now if I take the whole thing, we pull it down. think to like write something like that. Let's see how it looks on the bottom. No, now you're too low. Actually, I would leave it at 206. We know we're right on the height because that's the height of our other ones. And we'll come in and we'll test the triggers. Now, what we do have to do is renumber UPass 04. Dixie, howdy everyone, how y'all doing? Dixie's in the house. So pass 04. Now I want to move one of the train triggers over to the monorail track. And then we have to move one of the out triggers over to the monorail track. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to go pass 04. We're going to go File, Export. We're going to overwrite our passenger 04. I'm going to delete it out. We're going to import it back in. We're going to see if it falls into place. Okay, and that's where it's going to spawn into the map, but we're going to have to make some slight changes to it, I'm sure, once we get in the game and test it. Then we take, we go to, where am I? Maps, Placeables, Railroad Silos. We take Passenger 03 and we rename it Passenger 04. We redirect it to Passenger 04 I3D. Now you become Apartment 3. You become Apartment 3. You become Apartment 3. Let's save that. Now let's find our, before I forget, let's find our map position, because I always forget to move that. And it ends up spawning in inside of a building. But no, our map position is right in front of the bus stop, so that's right where I want it to be. Alright, so we have our passenger station 04. I think it's in place. Now there's two more things we have to do. We have to go to mod description. And we have to call it passenger 04 XML. And we have to go to items. And we find our passenger station 03. We'll copy that, paste it back in, and then it becomes passenger station 04. And we have to grab our new coordinates. And actually we had it at, let me do this first, Control C, oop, wrong one, Control V, and then it's minus 180, 0, and then minus 180. Let me save that now, but our height is at 205.004. So let's take this to 205.004, and that's the height of where the rest of them are spawning in. So I'm going to go File, Export. I'm going to overwrite this one again because we changed the height. So when it spawns into the game, it's going to spawn in at the same height as the other ones, and hopefully we won't have to move the triggers around. So we have our X, we have our Y, we have our Z, we have our rotation. So I'm going to take passenger 04, I'm going to delete it out. Now we're going to go File, Import. We're going to import in Railroad Silo 02. We're going to go File, Export. We're going to export it back out as RR03. And we're going to delete RR02 without making any changes to it. And we're going to bring in Railroad 03. And we're going to renumber it 03. Now, it's going to be our train and truck triggers. And we're going to have to get this one into place. And I'm going to slide it out here for a minute because I got to figure out which way to rotate it. Okay, so you got to go this way. So you got to go this way to 0. Nikki Fish subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much. Got a question for you, old man. I saw you were streaming again. Others might also be wondering the same thing. Oop, hang on. Let me scroll. Let me catch up on chat. Let me hang on. Just bear with me a second. Do you, or can the new warehouse be used to hold more products as we make more placeables? Or will a new warehouse... No. As we make new factories, let's say we make a factory that makes toothbrushes. I can add them to the existing warehouses. So I built those warehouses with the ability to keep adding more pallets to it. But I'm not putting finished products in those warehouses. Those warehouses will only ever hold product being used in another factory. If you want to make toothbrushes or pizza, you're going to have to keep them in the factory until you want to sell them. Because your pizza factory, I think, holds 2 million liters of end product. So if you need more than 200 liters of pizza, then I don't know what to tell you. Alright, so what height are our railroad silos coming in at? Our railroad silos are coming in at height 206, so I'm not going to adjust the height. So now we just need to adjust where our triggers are. Alright, so there is that one for now. Now we adjust the rest of them based off of that one. And actually, let me just pull it back here, and I think it'll line up. Yeah, I think that'll line up. Our railroad silo, ooh, if I pull it back just a hair, I think our railroad silo is going to line up also, so I don't have to mess with anything on the top. Wanted to know before I start putting the placeables in that area. Yeah, I am not adding any more warehouses, so that what you see is what you got, because I could put 125 different types of pallets into one global company function. So we can add it, we can keep building on those same warehouses until they hit 125 pallets each. So I don't plan on putting anything else in those areas. Now we have to get our triggers down here in place. Now we got to figure out where our... We didn't even work on this area down here. Crap. We're missing a couple components. Alright, I can't finish this. I can't finish these triggers until we get a couple more pieces in place. So let me grab... okay, I'm not worried about the textures for now. But I need a couple pieces off of our other railroad silo. So bear with me a second. I got to fly across the map before we can finish these triggers. Yeah, so the one of the reasons why I opened up that area was to give you room to put placeables down in Central Station. Alright, I need this grate. So duplicate that. And we're going to go edit, cut, visibility, paste. I need this pipe. And we need the silo. Alright, so let's fly back over here and we'll finish this one. And now we're going to go. Alright, so we're going to take our input. So let's grab our. Alright, we're going to grab our selling station first. And this is going to be for our inputs. So let's pull you down. Not quite all the way in the ground, but enough so there's no big hump driving onto it. And I'm going to pull you down this way. Now I'm going to take our silo and our silo is going to go on this corner. Something like that. And then our pipe is going to go about there for now, and I'll adjust the height. We'll adjust the height when we bring the trigger over. Now let's grab the rest of our triggers. So let's go back to Railroad Silo 03. Now we need to bring in our trigger. So this one here, alright, this one here we're going to have to bring over. And this one's a pain to adjust, but I got to spin it this way. Where are you? You're there. Actually, let's try that. We can always adjust it if it doesn't work. Now we're going to grab our out trigger, this one, and we'll get it into place. And let's get this pipe pulled up about there. And then we'll come back down here and we'll finish getting our triggers in place. I'm going to leave it like that for now. We may have to come back in and adjust these triggers a little bit. So now we take Railroad 03, we go File, Export, we overwrite Railroad 03, and I'm going to delete it. Let's go File, Import, Railroad 03. So when you import it into the game, you should fall into place. Not saying it's going to work right the first time, but it's should fall close to where we need. So now let's go to, first we're going to go to here. We're going to grab Railroad 02. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to go rename Railroad 03. And it's going to now point to Railroad 03 I3D. and it's going to be Railroad Silo 03, Railroad Silo 03, 03. Now we have to go to mod description, take Railroad Silo 02, make it Railroad Silo 03, and then we have to go to items. We have to go Railroad Silo 02, and it becomes Railroad Silo 03, and then we have to grab our X, we're going to leave it at 206, and then our rotation is 0, 0, 0. Alright, so that's going to spawn in our trigger. So let's delete that out. Let's save the map. We're going to go in just to see if these triggers work before we go any further. It's getting windy and cold here. We had a cold front coming in. It almost looks like it wants to rain. That's probably why I was in so much pain yesterday, because we had a cold front coming in. So yeah, before we put the grass down and all the trees and we decorate this and make it work and fence it in and make you build it, I want to make sure these triggers work. So the apartment complex should be preloaded with workers, and this mill should be, or this railroad silo should be preloaded with wood chips, just for testing. And then I'll get rid of those before we release the map. So let's go to Ritchie Valley. I got a new mouse pad today when I was at Walmart. It's a lot thinner than the one I had, but my mouse doesn't seem to be jumping like it did. So save game 8. Yeah, the reason I got rid of all those individual warehouses was the glass warehouses with all the visibility nodes that were showing the pallets was causing a ton of frame rate drops in that area. So that's the reason why I nuked them and had to do a new game save, with the update, because I wanted to get rid of all those individual warehouses. All right, so before we start, let's see. We have. So our Railroad Silo 03 and our Apartment 03s are spawning in. So that's a good sign. Before we go any further, I want to check the log and see if we have any major Lua errors before we get started. And we're clean. So let's come back in here. Let's throw in some cash. Let's grab a little bit of speed. Now let's teleport our butts over to Apartment 3. And let's make sure I got nothing floating over here. Let's test the apartment first. So let's grab store delivery mod. Let's grab a bus. So let's come over here. We should have this. This should already be preloaded with. Let me do a U-turn. This should already be preloaded with workers, so we should be able to get. We should get a signal to fill. There we go. Oh, I had it. There we go. Alright, so we can fill our bus. We should get an empty our bus. There we go. So we got our empty our bus. So the lower trigger's working. We'll have to check the monorail trigger. So while that's emptying, let's grab a K100 slide on tipper. Now we should be able to pick up wood chips here. This trigger should be lined up. Perfect. I'm not going to fill it. Let's make sure our dump trigger works. Perfect. Now I should be able to dump a load of, let's say I have a wheat field up top, or barley. Barley works. Oop, I didn't fill the truck. So we'll go with wheat. So I should be able to dump in a load of wheat up top, or on the bottom. And then I should be able to pick them up on the top or the bottom with truck or train. So I should now have wheat. Okay, so we have our wheat. And I'm just going to empty the truck. Let's make sure. Oh, look at that. I almost got smashed by the train because we don't have our crossing signals in yet. And we should be able to go down to the bottom. And I'm just going to cross country it for now. Now I should be able to take that same wheat out down here. There we go. So there's our, so our top is and our bottom are connected. So let's grab There we go. So the input trigger works, output trigger works. Let's park you here a minute. Let's grab store delivery mod. Let's grab a tanker. So grab a tanker. Let's throw in a load of rice wine. Sounds good. What the heck? So we got a load of rice wine. We don't want to sell it because we can store our liquids. So I should be able to, there we go, unload my rice wine. Now I should be able to refill it here. Rice wine. Alright, so I can refill it. Let's empty the truck. Now let's head back up top and make sure we can take our rice wine out of the top. Trying to remember to look over at chat. I get busy testing like this and I forget to look over at chat. Alright, so let's head back up top and make sure we can pick up our wine. We got a little bit of work to do coming up the mountain on both sides of the road. All the way around the map. That's a 3 o'clock in the morning I can't sleep project that's boring, that I'm not even going to try and show on camera. But I got to fix the roads coming up the mountain all the way around the map. So let's head over here. I was seriously thinking about just putting a dirt road in right where I'm driving. Right through here, all the way over. Let's see if we can stick the landing. Alright, now I should be able to take out my wine up here. There we go. Start filling, perfect. And then I should be able to unload my wine up here. There we go. Alright, so all of our triggers are working for truck. Now we got to test our train triggers. Alright, so do I have switch to trains on or off? Off. Alright. Switch to train. So let's see if we can catch this monorail. You. Stop. We're going to have to let it stop and then back up. Now, I put passengers in the front train because the front train is the engine. You can't load and unload it. So that will always have people and passengers in it. Now, when I back up the first car behind the truck, behind the engine, let's back up till we get the fill trigger. So, the first car behind the engine. Am I getting... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Now, this one should have working visibility nodes in it now. So if I come here and we go start filling, it's going to fill with people or workers. And then if we go to our second car back, we're going to get a start filling. And it's going to fill with workers. And I'm going to go to my third car back. So let's pull up a little bit more. We're going to get a start filling. And it's going to fill, you know, you can't see them all that well because I can't zoom out any further, but it's filling up with workers. So once you get your monorail completely full, all three cars are going to be filled with workers. And then I'm on the third car, so if I want to empty the third car, I just pull up a little bit, get the signal, and I can unload the third car. And then we flip back to the middle car. I'll back up a little bit. We should get an unload. There we go. We'll unload our second car. Or gravel road as it's near the mountain. Yep. One or the other, but I'm seriously thinking we're going to put some kind of a dirt road or something back there. And then we'll go to our first car, and I'll back up a little bit more. And we should get an unload. There we go. And we'll unload all of our workers. Now the front compartment with the engine will always stay full. So monorail's working. Now we're going to have to catch the bottom train. You're the boat. You're train 1. I need train 2. You're the train I need. And you're going to be on the... Nope, I wanted train 1. This one. Let me pull up my map a second. Yep, this is the one we want. Perfect. I want to test train triggers to make sure we can load our wine and our wheat. And we have a ton of landscaping to do. I'm seriously thinking about cutting the height of these mountains down a little bit, so you can actually see parts of it, not all of it, but parts of it, so you can see into the valley a little bit. But alright, I'm going to start slowing down, and I probably should have started slowing down a little bit earlier. But let's start slowing down. So I'm on my first tank car. I should be able to load my wine in it. So there we go. Wine in the train car. So I'm going to go to my third car back. And then we should be able to grab our wheat. Perfect. So we can load our wheat. We can unload our wheat. We flip back to the tank car. We should be able to unload our tank car as well. Alright, so our railroad silos are working. So now we can get out of here. And I've got one error that's going to pop up that I still need to fix. The driving dust is a Giants thing. This fill plane error we have to fix. So that's an easy fix. I just haven't gotten to it. So our railroad silos are working as intended. Alright, so now all we need to do is finish landscaping this area and then make it buildable. So I'm going to grab, let me fly over here. Let's grab, before I forget, to put them in place. Let's grab one of these. Oop, not the spline. So let's bring one of these down. And then we actually have the flashing train signals gates to work on, but that's a project for another day because we're not done putting roads in. So let's get one here. So we'll have a train signal crossing here. We'll have another one here. And we'll have another one over here. And then eventually we'll put maybe another train sick crossing here and a dirt road or gravel road along the mountain. But that's a project for another day because that's a different piece of property. And we're not working on that property today. So let's get our silo on the bottom. Let me go to concrete and square. So let's get this guy. Roughed in. And now we're going to need, go a little bit wider so we can get a road around it. So bring this out, not that far. So bring this out so you can drive around it. So we'll probably square it up to here. And we have a ton. Now my mouse is still jumping. I need a new mouse. I thought it was the mouse pad because the mouse pad was wore out, but it's definitely not the mouse pad. Alright, so let's grab a road coming in here. Ooh, too wide. One more. There we go. So I have a road coming in on this side. You can drive in. You can pick up and drop off your goods. And we'll make it a little bit wider to drive back out. Want to be able to drive around the building. Yeah, my mouse is still jumping all over the place. It's hard to paint textures and it's really hard to paint grass. So let me give you a little bit more room. Yeah, my mouse is, it's actually I think worse now with this new mouse pad than it was with the other mouse pad. I think I have less control over my mouse now than I did earlier. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to make another road coming out here. Right on the corner. So I'll have a road coming out there so you can drive around the building, and we'll have a road coming out on this side. And I'll also take you straight back. Straight back, yeah. I'm going to grab my old mouse pad, and I am definitely going to get a new wireless mouse. So there's our, let's give you a little bit of a corner. There we go. So that's as big as the property is going to be on the bottom. It's going to connect to the property on top. And actually, I don't even need to put it in the same farmland. I can put this silo in with this bottom farmland. It won't hurt it. You don't need to own the farmland for the silo to work. Now, before we paint the grass in though, a couple things I want to do. I want to fix. So let's go to round. Let's go to grass. I gotta push our mountain back to where it belongs. Just to where we're working on the silo. So I want to push this mountain back. So we can get our grass along the road. And then I've got to get my gravel under the road. Just before I paint my grass in. I know it's hard to see with the shadows from the mountain, but there's nothing I can do. Let's get our gravel in. Just where we're going to paint the grass in on the bottom. And I'm just going to push it out a little bit till we get too much past this telephone pole. That's going to be good enough on that side. We'll paint the rest in when we do that farmland. And let's get gravel in on this side. Dog's barking at the neighborhood stray cat. She's on the porch looking in the window, teasing them. Alright, and let's get our gravel in just past this road. Actually, I'll probably just take it all the way to the bridge and be done with it on this side. There we go. Now I can switch over to square. Now I'm just going to push it down to this telephone pole. I'll paint it in when we do this next section. I just want enough to paint our grass in. Alright, so before we work up top, let me just get our grass painted in down the bottom. It's going to be a lot quicker. So let's go to grass. And I'm not going to do a lot of landscape, wrong one. I'm not going to do a lot of landscaping here on this level until we work on this farmland down here, which is not going to be today. But I do need to wall this in. So I want to paint the grass in. We're going to have to put our construction barrier around it. So I need to get the grass done at least to where we're going to put up the construction barrier. So let's get just a little bit of grass along here. I'm not even going to worry about trees and stuff down here until we... Oh, I may put a few in, but I'm not going to put a lot of trees in. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the lower level. I want just enough to put my construction barrier in. So let's take it along here. Yeah, we'll put just maybe a few trees down here that's going to be inside of our construction barrier. That's about it. So we'll get this area done. We got a lot of grass to paint up top. And we'll finish this area. It's really hard to see with the mountains. Go in game and there'll be a bunch of grass on the road. I could put a light in, which I'll probably end up doing at some point. And then we'll just have to remember to take it back out. Alright, so that's going to take care of, well, no, it's not. We're going to have some grass along the mountain to put in. Yeah, let's go to round. And let's get our grass in here. And actually, I don't even need to do this side of the road today. But since I'm here, let's just get it in. Because this will be a farmland for another day. I know it's hard for y'all to see, it's hard for me to see. I just want to get it around till we're back out to the sunny area. Let's just come around here. I don't even have to worry about a construction barrier on this side of the road, but that gets us, yeah. Alright, so that gets our bottom area down except for a couple trees. Now, we got a ton of grass up here to paint. But let's figure out a new farmland for this area first so we know where we're going to be. So let's define this piece of property right now before we start painting in grass and putting all of our trees in. Time is 4 o'clock. We're definitely not going to get this finished today, but we'll get this railroad silo finished tomorrow. And then somewhere down in that corner, we'll put railroad silo 4. We'll do the same thing. We'll connect the top and the bottom. And then after that one, we just have 2 more to do. But I knew that these were going to be a little bit time consuming. Alright, so let's give this a quick save. While that's saving, let's go to our farmlands XML. And I wanted to drop the price of the last one down a little bit. Now, this one is going to be RR03 silo. Let's turn this one on. And it's going to be bits 2 and 5. Wait for this to finish saving. Tomorrow I do not have to leave the house. So I can stream all I want tomorrow. I don't think my sister has anything going on tomorrow. Alright, so we want farmland 2 and 5, number 36. Number 36. Alright. I'm gonna overpaint the area. But I only need a little bit of grass around this that we're going to fence in. And we'll fix it with the next farmland. Actually, I wasn't even going to paint in the bottom. Because it doesn't need to be a separate farmland. So I can fix that when we paint the top in. So ignore what I just put in. Let's define our top area. That bottom area is going to be its own farmland. So let's come over here, and our top farmland is going to be, alright, so you're going to be along the road and along the water out to this intersection, and then you're going to start coming back. So I want you to include this farm with this farmland. Let me go up my speed a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So you're going to come all the way back, because we're going to be just inside of the road with this farmland. Yeah, I forgot I need to include that bottom section in this farmland, so ain't gonna hurt. We'll fix it when we paint the bottom. Alright, now let's come up, let's work. Where do I want to end this farmland is the question. And I think we're going to come just up to the road. So we're going to bring this farmland back to the edge of the road where this road comes in. And we're just going to square it up with the mountain. And for now, since I've already painted part of the bottom, and I'm just going to continue it in with the same farmland for now. And I'll fix it here in a minute. So you're going to be you're going to come along here, and you're going to include about half the mountain, and then the lower section will include the other half the mountain. So unfortunately somebody's got to own the useless mountain. So let me get this area defined. And now we're going to fix the bottom area. This will know exactly where I need to paint the grass in. Alright, let's make sure I didn't miss any little squares. So that's going to be our top. I'm just going to fix the bottom one and be done with it. So let's grab our next farmland, and we're going to go below Railroad 03, or we're actually going to go lower Railroad 03. So that'll be the lower Railroad 03 area. So it's going to be number 37, which is bits 0, 2, and 5. There we go. So when we paint this one in, it'll include the area on the opposite side of the road all the way out to the water. Since we're here and they messed it up, I might as well fix it. And then it's going to have to include about half of the mountain, so we split the difference between the lower and the upper, and it's going to run all the way out to that bridge. And I'm not going to finish it today because I want to get the railroad silos done, but since I messed it up, I might as well fix it. And again, it's going to need to be about halfway up the mountain all the way across. And then to the water. And then to the bridge. That's going to be a nice piece of property on the bottom. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but that's definitely going to be a nice piece of property on the bottom. I'll probably put a couple of small fields in. Because I want the lower section to be smaller fields, and then I want the upper section to be larger fields. Alright, so there's our lower section fixed. Now we have a ton of grass to paint in our upper section. So I'm going to do another quick save. Grab a sip of coffee. I'm going to go until about 5:15, so I'll go about another hour now before I get out of here. I don't think we'll finish this today. We have all the grass to paint, we have all the trees to put in. Then we're going to have to fence it in. We still have to build a visibility over near the construction office before we can even make this work. Alright, so let's start at our railroad silo. We'll paint our way back to the end of our property. So let's go, throw you back on tip collision. And let's go to grass stage 4. We don't need that much. So let's grab our grass. And unfortunately I'll be painting grass for the next half hour. So let's click on that thing so we're not looking at a green highlight over here. Yeah, I will not come back on after dinner because it's Curse of Oak Island night. And it's about to the end of the season. So I know there's not that many shows left before they wrap things up for the season. So I do not miss Curse of Oak Island on Tuesday nights. I make sure the computer's turned off and it has my undivided attention. Now, since we took, oh no, we're good. We took this property just past the road, so I don't have to go much further with the grass. Nope, I don't have to go much further with the grass. So let's work. Let's work our way inside it. I usually do the road side first, but today we'll do the mountain side first. We have to put our triggers in for the repair shop. I completely forgot about that. We have another set of triggers to bring in and test before we can wall this in. I forgot we put a workshop over here. So we'll get our grass painted, and then we'll stick our workshop trigger in and give it a quick test. And I didn't even look at the farmhouse to see if anything was floating or needed to be fixed over there, so we'll do that after we get the grass painted in. And if I can't sleep and I wake up early, I'll finish this one up, and we'll pick it up with Railroad 04 tomorrow. All right, before I get to that mess, let's work our way back. So our property comes to the edge of this road and pretty much straight in. So I'm going to take, and we're going to paint in the road side first, and then work our way back around. I don't have to go too far to my left, just enough to get a wall in there. Try and remember to take a peek at chat, so I'm not ignoring y'all. Alright, so let me switch over to, square. We'll get along the track. Yeah, with the last one, with Railroad Silo 02, I did most of this off camera. And we'll probably leave it, it's about where our wall's going to run to. So we'll leave it there. Don't have to worry about anything on the other side of the road. That's the next property. We're not working on that one today. And I've been waking up at 3:30 in the morning the last like 4 or 5 days. But this will be 3 railroad silos down, 3 to go, and then we can finally call all the railroad silos done. Alright, let's get this little weird square here done. There we go. Now let's move over to here. I really hate these shadows. Yeah, let's finish up around here. Alright, now let's finish up this side. Yeah, let me get the back first. And we'll work our way out of these shadows. Too far. And I'm not on subtract, run, replace. Let's go to subtract. There we go. Yeah, I definitely need a new mouse. Alright, so that takes care of that part. Yep. So let's work our way out. This is all part of the same property, so I'm just going to work my way straight out along the road. Up to the tracks. I haven't decided yet. I know the map's not nearly finished, but I haven't decided yet what I've seen so far where I want to set up shop. I don't know which house I want to use yet. Granted, they're not all in, but I don't know where I want to be yet. Just depends on where our starter fields are going to end up. And I may even sell off our starter fields. Who knows? Y'all are quiet in chat. I must have put everybody to sleep today. Yeah, it's Curse of Oak Island and then New Amsterdam. And then Lights Out. I missed that one doctor. I think they killed him off. I don't know what they did with it because I missed a couple shows at the end of the season last year. And I don't know what they did with that one Indian doctor. I forget his name. I think Dr. Kapoor, something like that. I don't know how they wrote him off the show. I missed a couple of episodes. So let's work our way back along the tracks. Come on, y'all. I'm gonna have to go check Streamlabs to see how many people I have watching. I'm definitely boring everybody today. I got a couple more slight adjustments to make to the greenhouses, the dairy, and the mill, so I can get them zipped up and sent to Dixie tonight. Alright. Yeah, I'll also paint this around. So let's switch over back to round. And let's just get our road edge, our parking lot, whatever you want to call it, taken care of. I'm going to actually spin around and come back in the opposite way because it's easier for me to see with the shadows and the light. I have 13. Thank you. And more than I was expecting. Just painting grass and doing trees. So we got a ton of, this is going to be a big meadow. I'm going to leave this all open. This way, if you buy this piece of property and use this silo, you can either turn it into an animal farm or you can concrete it in yourself and make it a placeable area for factory. So I'm just going to leave it a meadow and let you decide what you want to do with it. It'll be nice and flat for you to put factories down. I don't want to do a lot of big, empty, open concrete areas. So I'd rather leave them grass meadows and have you turn it into a placeable area than me make it a concrete placeable area and you have to turn it back to a grass meadow. So we're going to go with a lot of grass meadows rather than big concrete patches. I think that makes more sense. But we're almost there. We won't be much longer. And we'll have the grass painted in. I'm going to have to reset my phone because I have a robocall popping up and it stopped my stream. Now let me just paint this little square edge here and then we'll switch over to round. Let me reset my stream. I think I'm good. Alright, yeah, I think I'm good. Alright, let's get the inside painted and we'll come around the edge by the water. So let's go back to round. Now it's going to go a lot quicker because we just got some bigger areas to finish. We'll get the rest of this grass knocked out. getting the area defined along the road. Or our concrete driveway, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm not going to put a forest on this one because we put a forest on the last one. So we'll leave this one just a meadow. Maybe we'll put a forest on the next one. I don't even know what that piece of property looks like for the next railroad silo. Alright, so let's fill this big blank area in first. And then we'll grab some deco trees and we'll get the trees taken care of. And then we'll get the working trigger in for the repair shop. I should only have a little bit more to fill in for the big section. Yeah. Well, there's more than I thought there was. Darn. Alright, it's so hard to see in certain directions. Let me come back around and swing my camera back around this way. It's actually easier for me to see this direction. Just a couple spots over here. Alright, so that's the big area done. Now we just need to finish the farmyard itself. But I'm going to do a quick save. It brings income from the grass. Yeah, it does. It gives you the opportunity, if you don't want to do a lot of factories, if you just want to do farming and arable and animals, it gives you an opportunity, a place to put your animal pens down. But yeah, you can make a ton of money on silage until you can afford other properties. I'm going to have to clean up this edge along the road a little bit, I think. Wait for this to finish saving. See what that looks like. Yeah, I'm not going to be happy with it when I get in game. So let's go down a lot smaller. And let's clean up this road edge. Yeah, that's going to look better. Now this side. There we go. That's going to look better. He is all wound up today. I have no idea what he's barking at now. Something out back, because he just went flying out the back door. Alright, so let's get... Alright, so that area is done. Now let's get... Wow, there's a lot more grass here left to paint than I thought there was going to be. Alright, let's get this edge defined. Coming into the farmhouse. There we go. And then we'll get, yeah, let's get the farmhouse proper done. So let's come back behind the barn. Yeah, we're going to come in game. We're going to put the, before we put the trees in, we're going to make sure there's nothing floating with the farmhouse. We got to fix anything. I want to see if the barn's big enough we can drive a truck through, and I'm going to get the trigger working for the repair shop. And then we'll put all of our decorative trees in. And then about 5:15, I'm going to have to get out of here to help her finish dinner. Oh, it's so hard to see in certain directions painting this grass in. So what I'm probably going to do, let's come over this way. And I can see better in this direction. So come along the house, finish up the patio. And then we'll probably... Yeah, let me come out by the road and work my way back. Much easier to see. Let me bring a little bit more along this edge. There we go. Now we're going to end up with a bald spot along the road. And then I'm not sure where I'm going to head after all the railroad silos are done, because we have a lot of work to do on still on the top of Center Mountain. We got a couple of big city sections and city blocks to build up there. So I'm half tempted to finish the top of the mountain before we put the rest of the fields and stuff in. But I wanted there to be a lot more open space on this map than my last couple of maps. So you're going to get a lot of meadows on this map. I don't want any excuses that there's no place to put factories down. How did I mess up the front door? No, but we can clean this area up a little bit. There we go. And then I can just finish up this last little section of grass. Along the water. Along the mountain. The grass is almost done with this section. Let's finish this corner. Yeah, finish this corner. Alright, I think we're going to call grass done. Just do a quick fly around. Make sure I didn't miss anything. So it looks good along the road. I'll head over this way. A little couple spots right here. Oop, I see a bald spot right there. Oh, alright, so let's back some off on this side, add a little bit on this side. Alright, so that looks pretty good. This area here looks pretty good. So we have grass all the way out to where the edge of our property is. And we have our grass along the road, along the monorail tracks. Alright, so that's going to be our grass for this area. We got a ton of trees to put in, but grass is done. So what I want to work on, I'm going to do a quick save, and we're going to do another workshop trigger over here. So let me do another save. While that's saving, I'm going to go to, I got to figure out where they are. Placeables, they're not in storage, they're not in my train system. So is it under Ritchie Valley? Is it in my main folder? Placeables, BGA gas station, global company, selling station. You are not a selling station. Where is my repair trigger? So let's go to items. So now I have one working repair trigger. Selling station vehicles is under, oh, it's map, no, placeables, oh, it is under selling station. Placeable selling station and then selling station vehicles. So we want placeable selling station vehicles. Okay, so now I know where we want to go. So let's go close you, Close you a minute. Close railroad crossings. There we go. So we're going to go File, Import, Ritchie Valley, Placeables, Selling Station, Vehicles. Now, I can use the same i3D, so yeah, let's do it. So let's go Edit, Interactive Placement, spin you this way. No, if I leave you this way, that means your trigger is, I can slide it back. It'll put your trigger by the tractor. I can live with that. So this will be another repair trigger. And how are we on height? We got to bring you down. Perfect. Right at 206. So that is going to be let's go here first. Alright, so selling station vehicles, we already have one, so let's copy, paste, rename selling station vehicles 02. It is going to refer to selling station vehicles i3D. I don't need to move any of that. I don't need to move anything in here. We don't need to rename it. We don't need to do anything with it. So we need to go to our mod description. And do I have selling station vehicles? We are going to copy this one and paste it back in, and we're going to call it 02. And now we're going to go to items. We're going to copy selling station vehicles. We're going to paste it back in, and it's going to be vehicles 02. And then we just need our coordinates for it to spawn in. It's going to stay at 206. You're going to be here. And then our rotation is, let's go 0. Let's just make it 0.671. So 266 or 2656, 206, 17. There we go. 0 point. All right. So I think we're good. So I'm going to delete it out. I know we just did a save. I'm just going to do another quick save. Nordic admin, hello. You're on late to my knowledge of you being on. Then again, I usually see you on about 5 hours earlier. I did an early stream, then I had some errands to run. So I just popped back on for a little bit. I'm got about another 20 minutes. I have to get out of here to about 5:15, and it's 4:55. So about 20 minutes I have to get out of here. And I won't be back on tonight. We'll finish this up tomorrow. But I don't have to leave the house tomorrow. I don't have to leave the house Thursday. I don't have to leave the house Friday. So we're going to spend as much time as we can between now and Monday on this map. Alright, let's head in game. Let's check out the farmhouse, make sure the vehicle shop works. And then we'll start putting decorative trees in. So we have to delete save game 8. And my coffee cup is empty. My bottle of iced tea is across the room. But I only have another 15 minutes anyway before we get out of here. So I probably won't even mess with trees today. We'll drive around for a little bit and then we'll call it. And we'll finish up Railroad Silo 3 tomorrow. We'll build Railroad Silo 4. So we should have... Ooh, there's no repair trigger. What did I mess up? Oh, the repair trigger... Yeah, I should have a repair trigger somewhere in here, which means it didn't spawn in. Let's see if it spawned in. I don't think it spawned in. Let me grab a little bit of speed. I don't think our repair trigger spawned in. So I messed something up. Yeah, we do have our repair trigger. Why is it not showing as a hotspot? Why is our repair trigger not showing on the map? Let's get out of here a minute. Well, yeah, we're definitely not going to get to trees now. I got to see. Let's check the log for errors first. Okay, so there's no... is there a own workshop? False. There's no hotspot for placement. Use random rotation. Player trigger icon. Selling trigger. Okay, I don't see a hotspot. So let's go. Let me open up. We don't have any hotspots in the map yet, but let me look at the wood sales really quick. Wool. Appear on PDA. Selling station. Station name. Selling station vehicles. Placement. No, I don't want to set it up like that. I think I need to set it up as a hotspot. Let me look at wood chips. Yeah, I can't set it up like that. Let me try something. If not, I'll mess around with the hotspot off camera. Global company. Let me grab... There's no hotspots because it's not a factory. Oil well 01. Where's my hotspot? Alright, we're gonna do it. Oh, it's a different as a placeable than it is built into the map. I'm thinking it's a placeable. I'm missing a line of code. And I think it's as simple as, I'm overthinking this. Let me go back to selling stations. Let me go back to selling stations wool. And I think I just need this line of code, to be honest with you. But it doesn't tell me, it doesn't tell it where icon node. I think it has to go in here. And our icon node, let me pull it back into the map a minute. File, import, selling station vehicles. Now our icon node. Our icon node is 1 and 0. Icon node is 1 and 0. Appears on PDA true. I think that's all I need, to be honest with you. I'm maybe overthinking this. We'll see. Let's go back in the game. If not, I'll fix it off camera. I'll have to figure out how to get the right line of code in the XML. Triple C, oh really? Damn, the previous setup was handy getting 8 done at once. Oh, what are you talking? Oh, let me scroll back up in comments a minute. Hang on. And I'll catch up on what y'all were talking about. Triple C, how do I load the rocks? You have to use the new rock truck, the cat truck. I didn't notice a new piece of machinery in the pack. I've seen people bump into them in the mine. Use the cat mining truck. I'll show it to you right now when I go in game. We removed the rocks from the auto load trucks because it was completely unrealistic. We took them off the flatbed truck. So what you need to use is, let me come over here. You need to come into the vehicle pack and you need to grab the cat. Oh, I don't have enough money. So you need the cat mining truck to load the rocks. And it auto loads. So that's what you need for the rocks. But I want to see if we have our hotspot. We don't. So I've got something messed up with that repair trigger. I'll figure it out. Let me grab some speed. It's here, it's just not showing up on the map. Maybe because we don't own the land? Let me grab my store delivery mod. Let me grab some cash. Let's grab something that I can paint. You're the best, thanks. Love your work so far. I'm just learning still. Yeah, no problems. When I'm streaming, or Dixie's streaming, or Papa Smurf is streaming, feel free to jump in. Now, are you working? You are working. You're just not showing up on the map. Okay, so I just got to figure out how to get the hotspot to show up on the map. But it's working, so that's all that counts. So we can have our repair and sell trigger here. You've got, let me just make sure, we got nothing floating here, right? No, everything looks good here. Everything looks good with our barn. Got your outhouse. Oh, we got to get the grass out of the outhouse. Or we can leave it like that, like it's all grown in. No one's using it anymore. We have our house. And backyard. Nothing's floating there. Can we get up to... Can we climb the steps? Oh, we can. And we come up here. Yeah, we're not tall enough. But we can, we jump. We can look out. Can I get up on the step? Yeah, can I get up on the step? Oh, nope. There we go. You get a little bit of a view if you jump up on the step. So we can look out of our little play hut. Alright, let's see what our water feature looks like. Our windmill is not turning, so I gotta figure that out. May have to build an XML for the windmill. And I got a little bit of a floating mess off, so we gotta put a little bit of land back. Yeah, I gotta bring a little bit of land back in. So or drop this building a little bit. And I got to figure out why you're not spinning. So that's a couple things I'm going to work on. I can hear the sound it's just not turning. So I'll figure that out. And we'll bring a little bit of land back under the building. But I'm liking this farm so far. Got yourself some bale storage in here, or small vehicles. You can throw your sleep trigger in here if you want to use this farmyard. A little bit of missing grass here and there. You'll have this big meadow here to use. Do with what you want with it. We have our worker storage, we have our bulk storage. We don't have railroad crossings yet, but we're not done with roads. Alright, grass along the road looks good. I'm going to have to go look at a selling state. A little bit of grass on the road there. So we got a little bit of grass along the road to clean up. Yeah, a little bit of grass along the road to clean up. And I gotta figure out why I don't have a hot spot for that piece of property, unless it's because we don't own this piece of property. Let's see if we buy the land. Does our hotspot show up? No. Okay. So I gotta figure out why the hotspot's not showing up on the map for our repair trigger. Man, it'd be nice if we can use this old rusty tractor. Oh, what do we have in here? We got all kind of good stuff that we can make a new factory out of. We can make we could do some fire extinguishers, some air compressors, some vacuums, some battery charging stations, a welding machine. I see a new drill press. I see a new factory in our future. Alright, so a couple things to figure out, but nothing game breaking. We'll recheck Tom's tables here in a bit to see if there's an issue with it. I'm gonna be streaming from the Richardville map later tonight. New farmer, new start. Nice. Tom's tables will only take logs, not wood chips. Yes, Tom's tables will only take logs because you need logs to make benches. Wood chips can be used as a fuel source, yes. So you cannot put wood chips in the logs. Tom's tables are logs only. Must be a strong wind for that water not falling straight down. Because Giants considers logs fill type wood chips. So in the global company menu, if a factory takes logs, it's going to show up as wood chips, and there's nothing I can do about that. It's Giants translation. So if I go in and I put logs in as a fill type, Giants is automatically going to show it up as wood chips in the global company menu. So nothing I can do there. So I need to figure out the hotspot. Let me fly over here. There was a little bit of grass on the road. I want to clean up. So let's get this little bit of grass off the road. Here. Alright. And then we had some issues to fix with our water. Let's go back to, and we got some grass to fix. So let's go back to 206. Let's bring our land back up under our building and under our windmill, water mill, whatever you want to call it. And then I've got to give it a small, quick, smooth. There we go. And that's going to put our land back. I'll put it probably back too far. Let me pull this out a little bit further and then just smooth it back. There we go. So we can put our land back under our building. So let's get some missing grass put back here. Alright, so that's going to fix that. This I'm going to have to make turn. Now, what I can do is when we build... No, I need an XML to make this work. I need an XML to make this spin. I'll look into that tomorrow. So I want to make this spin. So there's a little bit of XML work there tomorrow. I've got to figure out why my hotspot's not coming in for the repair trigger. So I'll figure that one out tomorrow. And then the only thing we have left to finish this area with are trees. So let me get a little bit more grass off the road. Oh, let's go back to subtract. And so with that, I had a little bit, and then I had a spot where there was some grass missing, but now I can't remember where it was. don't think it was here. I think it was down further. Yeah, it was down between, I think, the barn and the silo. Right in here. Let's pull the grass off the road on this side. We'll add it in on this side. And a little bit here. Yeah, Tom's Tables has to take logs because it needs logs to make the benches. And it burns wood chips. And you can't put wood chips in as logs if I'm using it for fuel. Okay, so I think we're going to call it. And we'll fix a couple things tomorrow unless I decide to come in and monkey around with some XML work tonight. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to throw you all on ending soon. Appreciate everybody stopping in, saying hello. Appreciate the new follows. There was a Prime sub, I think, Twitch Prime sub. So much appreciated. I'm just waiting for this to save and close. Oh, Nikki Fizz, that was me. Thank you very much. Dixieland, see y'all later. Have a great night. Rob, see you tomorrow. I will definitely be on as much as I can tomorrow. I'm not leaving the house tomorrow. So, it's going to be a morning stream, a lunch break, and an afternoon stream. I want to finish Railroad Silo 3. I want to get 4 built. And then we have 2 other ones to build, 5 and 6. But the main goal tomorrow is finishing up 3 and getting 4 done. But I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good night. Dixie, if I don't catch you, have a good stream. I will try and pop in, but no guarantees. It's Curse of Oak Island night. So there's no guarantees I'll catch it, but I'll give it a try. But y'all have a good night.